Taking a knee. There hasn't been so much controversy over sitting since the day Rosa Parks refused to move from the whites-only section of a bus in racially segregated Alabama back in 1955, an act that sparked the civil rights movement in America. On August 14th, 2016, then San Francisco 49ers quarterback Colin Kaepernick sat on the bench while his teammates rose for the pre-game national anthem. A week later, he did it again, but still no one seemed to notice. It wasn't until a reporter tweeted this picture that the conversation began. The National Football League released a statement confirming that he had sat, and 2 days later, Kaepernick told reporters that he was protesting police brutality and oppression of people of color in the United States. The move quickly evolved to taking a knee. From across the NFL and many other sports joined in. But many fans, sports officials, and politicians solidly stood against the protest. And Kaepernick, who's a free agent, hasn't been signed to a team since the controversy erupted. Now, over a year later, US President Donald Trump told his supporters to walk out of the stadium if they see players kneeling. So why are so many people upset about this seemingly mild form of activism? First, let's put some things in perspective. Until 2009, American football players generally stayed in their locker rooms during the singing of the Star-Spangled Banner. That was until the NFL got millions of taxpayer dollars from the US Department of Defense and the National Guard for paid patriotism in order to drum up recruitment. Soldiers and athletes put on pre-game shows, and part of that included the teams being on the field for the national anthem. Then we get to the owners of these teams, who are for the most part rich, old, white American men, many of whom gave millions to Trump's presidential campaign. For the last year or so, their stance on the Take a Knee movement was to remain mostly silent. That was until recently. At a rally in Alabama, the same state where Rosa Parks took her seat, Trump had this to say.
Wouldn't you love to see one of these NFL owners, when somebody disrespects our flag, to say, get that son of a bitch off the field right now, out, he's fired. He's fired!
The backlash was strong. Over 200 players across every NFL team, along with many coaches and team owners, took a knee or locked arms or showed some type of solidarity before the Sunday, September 24th game. And finally, the league addressed the elephant in the room with a strong statement supporting the players' right to protest, saying they don't have to just shut up and play. This brings us to the act of sitting as a form of protest. Gandhi, Martin Luther King Jr., protesters of the Vietnam War, they all used sitting to bring attention to their causes. It's a basic and non-threatening way to get a point across. Rosa Parks' determination not to yield her seat 61 years ago began a national movement and conversation in America, which yielded real results. Did she know her actions would start a movement? Who's to say? Kaepernick's cause is similar. The marginalization of blacks in America and police brutality. Real issues which affect millions of real people. But does he have a right to use his position as a sports star to further his personal social goals? The argument often used against him and other athletes taking a knee is that it's unpatriotic and disrespectful to America and its flag. Well, if we want to get technical, U.S. Code Title IV, Chapter 1, Section 8, which deals with respecting the flag, states the flag should never be carried flat or horizontally, which is often the case at these games. And there's nothing about sitting while the national anthem is played. So here's the question. Should sports become an arena for politics and activism, or should Kaepernick and his ungrateful buddies just go on and be good old boys and just shut up and play?